Hey guys, I'm Guinny.
And I'm Zahra and Samim.
And welcome back to Step Up to Speak Up, episode 4.
Yes, sir. Today's episode is going to be about our shelter-in-place experience. And keep in mind that during this time of recording, we are still sheltering in place. However, we decided to film this episode now because school has started for me and is about to start for Gwen in about, I believe, a month.
Something like
So
that.
this, so this is more about comparing our summer to the previous years and talking about how our mental health has been affected.
We had an idea that we wanted to start a podcast.
And it's important that you guys have your voices heard.
Because as a kid, I was bullied.
Step up to speak up.
So this episode will be in a Q&A type of format. I guess you could call it we are interviewing each other in some sort of way. So if it seems very, I don't know, dry, please keep that in mind. Yeah,
It will
I feel like
as Zara said, though, it would kind of be more of a Q&A kind of thing, but we'll still kind of leave the responses and the questions open so you guys can answer them yourselves too, because like always, we'd love to hear your guys' responses, and we
Yeah.
never want to talk at you guys. We want to talk with you guys. It's supposed to be a conversation with your besties. So,
And we are planning to post these questions all up on our story and have an actual Instagram feed post for this. So, if you have something that you want to share with us and our Step Up to Speak Up community, put it all in there and we'll happily feature you.
and if you don't want yours featured, please tell us. Just like if you just want us to know, that's totally fine too.
Again, we're your fan club. We're extremely supportive of literally whatever you do. So if it's anything positive, or if you need help with something negative, again, we're here for you. So first question, what did you learn about yourself while the world has been social distancing?
That is kind of a deep one to start into, and the fact is, I wrote these questions too. You want to go first or me?
I could go first. One thing that I learned about myself is that I could manage to keep myself entertained, and I don't necessarily need other people to make me happy. Don't get me wrong, I love hanging out with friends, but it's so much less draining if I were to make myself enjoy life on my own terms, rather than having to put on a mask to suffice to someone else's version of me. It gives me, in a sense, freedom. It gives me opportunities to see what I like instead of suppressing my interests or my passions for someone else. Like this summer, I really got to, experience more volunteer work than ever before. My involvement with I Can Help through presenting has really shined through. And, I wouldn't have had the opportunity if I spent all summer hanging out with my friends. That sounds very messed up, but I'm not saying in previous summers if you hung out with your friends that's a bad thing because you could have been so much more productive. However, I feel more satisfied and content if I were to do these things rather than trying to be someone that I'm not with a group of people that I don't like. So yeah, really learning more about my introverted side is amazing.
Love that. So, for me, it's hard to kind of top what Zara was saying, because like before quarantining and social distancing and stuff, I was going through a really rough patch, and freshman year just wasn't it, and I was ready for school to end. And so like when we first started like the 2 weeks, I was good. I was like, yes, I'm back on track. Like I can become myself again. Like because I was really not having it at all. It was not a good experience. And then like we started quarantining, and then I got really upset because I was like, now I'm stuck here, and this is even worse. And like it wasn't a good experience for me. And then I slowly but surely, like, I don't know, started, this is gonna sound so cliche, but started to find myself more. And that sounds so weird, like, so cliche. But honestly, like, I started to realize, I was like, okay, why do I do this stuff? And, like, why do I let other people say what I can and can't do? And why do people control who I am? Because I was constantly letting people do that. People would tell me, oh, you're too positive. It makes you seem fake. You're too happy. There's no way you can be that happy. Like, And I was letting that get to me a lot. And now, like, I'm kind of just myself. And it really took me up until what, almost exactly a month ago, actually, to get to this place where I am. I recently, without diving into anything too deep, I know it's not that I don't want to go deep with you guys. It's just keeping things separate. Some stuff you just have to keep separate, you know?
And that's on respecting boundaries and setting them up. We often forget about doing that. Little, I don't know, side note here. As open as we may seem about, getting stabbed by a pencil or being called a disappointment and all of this stuff in between that we've gone through, there are some things that are,
Private.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because we can get uncomfortable, we're only like 14.
We're 15, but
I'm
yeah.
14 still.
14 still?
Surprise!
Well, my mind just blew, guys. I've only been working for her with her like a year, and I didn't know that. Yeah. But anyways, so I recently just had something pretty big happen to me, and it refreshed my whole life. It made me see clear. It made me just see my world in a better light and see my worth and see what I'm supposed to do with my life. It's made me also question and change a lot of things about what I want to do. Like, I don't even know why, but I've wanted to be a lawyer for so, so long. And I'm not saying I don't want to, but all of a sudden I'm like, wait, what if that's just not my thing? Like, it just made me think. I was like, all this stuff I've had set for me, what if it's not what's set for me? The question was like, would you learn about yourself? And it was honestly, I learned that I let too many people say and control and dictate how I do my life. And it was making my life really sad and depressing.
Yeah, I
And
think gonna cut in there. I think that one thing that's consistent, whether you're 12 or you're 58, is that we've always had other people like dictate our choices, whether it's suppressing passions and highlighting things that you didn't necessarily want to be highlighted, or like with Gwen having a preset plan all perfectly laid out for you because of other people's influences. Yeah, it it's pretty scary to deal with that sort of change, but at least we have the opportunity to understand ourselves.
definitely. You guys can't see, but she just like made a funny face at me. Um, so on to question number two. Did you learn to enjoy time alone with your family, or did it become a tough challenge, and why? Do you want
Okay,
to take it first or me? Because I can take it real quick.
you could take it.
Okay, that sounded really bad, but I have always had to have time alone with my family. My family does family game nights at least once a month. We used to do them once a week, and then like we always have family dinners, except when like sports get in the way and stuff. But typically that's not that often. So it wasn't too much of a tough challenge because I have to do all this stuff, but at the same time, being with my family more than I already had to, it got a little difficult. My mom and I started getting into a lot of fight, and it was not healthy on us, and it was not good at all. We're in a better place now, but it just very much took a toll on our relationship, and I think my whole family kind of took a toll with quarantine and social distancing because of it.
Yeah, family fights are prevalent, especially during quarantine. Like, I love being with my family, but because I'm always out and about before shelter in place started, this really like gave me a chance to learn about my younger siblings and even my parents. We would get frustrated and we would burst into family arguments that would last weeks. But at the end of the day, we would always make it up with a good game of Mario Party or Mario Kart. We use them interchangeably.
Well, I love Mario. Side note, but yeah, I love Mario. Anything Mario. Okay, you can continue.
So yeah, like my sister, she had the opportunity to create her own Depop business where she makes jewelry and ships them out to people. And my little brother, he really got to experience playing Pokemon. I got to experience more of Pokemon, big Pokemon fanatic here, and sharing that with him instead of, comparing our Pokedex every like 6 months. So yeah, it was definitely a great time to catch up and get to know each other better.
I love that. We have like the exact opposite answers a little bit there, but
Okay,
so
next question. What ugly parts of yourself do you need to address now in the light? I was a bit hesitant to answer this.
do you want to go first? Yeah.
Sure, I'll just put it out there. This might get a bit sad. Not sad. I found out that my coping mechanism is running away. And the thing is that I've known that for a really long time, that I have a tendency to run away from a task or a project that was creating anxiety. But recently I noticed that I also run away from people when I can't tolerate the things on my plate, not because I dislike them. As much as I enjoy, their comfort during these bearing times, I don't have enough energy to hold that conversation with them, let alone address why I'm ignoring them for weeks. I find myself acting as a hypocrite as well, posting positivity and smiling on camera on social media when I haven't been doing all right. Whenever I catch myself doing that, I feel, in a way, hollow inside. Where do I draw the line with my relationship to social media? When is it time to take a break? These are questions that I end up asking myself, but don't have enough courage to find the solution, to find that change. And I believe that everyone has found themselves asking, just coming across these existential questions that are really tough to answer, right? Like, why do I exist? So yeah, it's kind of funny the things that social media has you doing to keep up this narrative. As someone who wants to spread positivity, as someone who wants to be a resource and a friend to everyone and anyone, it's so difficult. And yeah, I got the in-person stuff taken care of already, but my involvement with social media, whether I like it or not, will remain toxic for the time being because of this persona. Now I'm trying to be real and honest, but it's been really difficult because people from every single avenue of my life follow me. My friends from school, my teammates, my I Can Help family, old friends, extended family that I haven't seen forever. It's so difficult to be real when I have to put on a mask to cater to each person or each demographic. Like, I wouldn't act the same with a swim teammate as I would with a very close best friend of mine. Yeah, and it's just really difficult trying to be real, but also have those boundaries up without feeling like a hypocrite.
Honestly, you just answered exactly how I was gonna answer. You just have it very drawn out and just being real without being a hypocrite. And yeah, that's literally stole the words right from under me, out from under me, guys.
Oh my god.
So then I guess we're gonna skip this question because she kind of answered for the both of us.
I'm sorry.
You're good. What was the most significant change in your perspective during this pandemic?
Before I steal your words again,
The most significant change, just like in the world.
I did it like POV Zahra type beat, but
Okay, I'll answer kind of both because we kind of already answered that one with like the would you learn about yourself. So with the world, can't really answer this without getting into personal beliefs, not like politics or anything else. It's just like personal beliefs, you know. I don't know if this would technically be a change, but like how we were so like a lot of jobs and like schools are so easily able to just like move on to online kind of stuff like that. Like it wasn't like that, but like it kind of felt like that, and it just makes you think like, is this like when the pandemic is over and stuff, like now like these jobs and schools and all that can all be done online. They've learned and stuff, like, so really is there going to be any reason to go back and do this stuff? I don't know if that makes sense, guys. And then like a significant change in yourself, because Zara, over here wrote it as herself.
Me as a narcissist.
My whole persona, actually. I feel like that sounds very, very, I don't even know what the word is. I forgot the word. Anyways,
Vague.
yeah, kind of. But honestly, like, yeah, my whole persona, because I feel like I'm a much happier person now. And I'm not even like fake happy either, because like for a while there, when people would tell me I'm happy, I was really happy until it kept like getting to me more and more. The more they bashed on me, the more they said stuff, the more they made me feel bad about myself. But I'd still try to be happy for everyone else, so that way I could be that positive person in their life to help them make a good positive change in their life. And then now I'm actually truly happy after what has recently happened. I'm truly happy. My mind is cleared of almost every negative thought, and I'm one of those people that write like letters to their future selves, and then we'll find them like 5 months later instead of years later. Except I found one from like 6th grade one the other day. That was intense. But I wrote one to myself the beginning of quarantine. I didn't even mean to find it. I was cleaning my room, and basically it was talking about all this like sad stuff that was going on in my head, and how like I had hoped I was happier and like all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't even remember being this sad, which sounds really bad, but like I'm just like, I keep all these happy thoughts and I kind of push down the sad, which probably isn't psychologically good, but I'm happy. Like I'm truly actually happy. So that's my significant change.
Yeah, that's a lot deeper. Um, and your words don't know how to top that off.
I win.
Yeah, it is difficult. Looking back, because in 7th grade, I wrote a letter to my future self. I got it last year. And the only thing that I mentioned in there, or that I was extremely worried about, is something going on with one of my ex-friends. That was my whole entire focus. My big stressor of the century. One person that is now insignificant to me.
That I wrote a letter like that too. I feel like most people who write letters to themselves kind of have been there, but like I feel you. I really do.
It was so funny. But the most significant change, besides all the social causes going on, it was not being able to go to the movie theater. My mom and I would go all the time. We would go at least once a week to the theaters to watch new movies or to rewatch the ones that came out as well. The tradition started when I was in middle school, and school wasn't necessarily like a safe space for me. I feel like that's a pretty reoccurring theme. So yeah, having to get like subliminally picked on and not knowing how to properly cope, my mom knew that something was up. And she would take me to watch a movie. This was a magical experience for me. I guess that's why I'm so interested in anime. It has a power to take you to another world, make your own dreams a reality, and having a positive ending by overcoming all the hardships that the writers included in the plot. By having that taken away, I made sure to still watch movies, still watch anime and fantasy shows, and still explore the limits to my creativity. Because, watching the graphics of Transformers, or seeing the new horror film, or the comedy film with jokes that I'll mention to my friends the next day, like, all of that was so significant to me, my personality, my identity, who I am today. I got really sad when I saw those movies where it was like, including The Quiet Place 2, which I was really looking forward to, getting postponed and canceled. Like, it really hurt me because of how many memories I made over those movies and how those movies make me feel. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, why did that sound so fake? I'm sorry, guys. I promise I wasn't fake. But yeah, no, I definitely understand that. I really love that. I wish I had something like that, like the movie thing, like going to the movies and stuff. I'm like over here, oh, same about movies, and then it's just me. I'm like, oh, I just kind of went to a movie theater at least once a month because I really liked movies. I would go with like a friend or something because for my family it's really expensive for us to do it. because there's 7 of us. Okay, I just like over talked over nothing.
So what amazing and talented parts of yourself have you gotten to know better and now need to put into action in the world around you? So for me, I wouldn't say talents, but I guess I learned more skills and traits about myself, like how I'm an extreme empath of sorts. That means I could, really understand someone's point of view and not just understanding it, but feeling it. And again, surprisingly, this podcast always catches me off guard. I've been doing a lot of speaking and presenting, which was fun over the summer. And I also figured out that I'm not necessarily a horrible writer. I just have to believe
She
in
is
myself.
really good. Don't even let her slightly tell you she's not. She's really good. I'm over here pretending to be a Wattpad writer. I'm not actually. Please don't look at my books. And she's over here always like so wordly. I don't think that's a word, but so wordly.
I don't know what you mean by that.
It's a good thing.
Wait, wordly? Wait,
Wordly.
wordly as in
She knows.
rambling
No,
or adequate?
you know how to use your words.
Oh, thank you. Because I end every single statement with "so yeah" and double thumbs up or
Okay, but when
finger
she's
guns.
texting, she's actually good. I promise.
Yeah, my texting has gotten better. Like I gave
Like
up
her
on.
texting or like anything writing, she's good. Just don't listen to her. I'm just kidding.
That's so rude. Okay.
I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now.
Before you tarnish our friendship with more.
Forever.
Oh my god. Okay. So Glenn, what amazing and talented parts of yourself have you gotten to know better and now need to put into action in the world around you?
Literally nothing. No, just kidding. Bro, I don't know.
Did you know that you're that good at organizing people? Okay, so Gwen does all of the outreach and communications for our podcast. Like, I literally just record and come up with like episode ideas and stuff, and then she manages Alexis and Grace and Izzy all together, and me, who is like so irresponsible,
I
and she
wouldn't
manages it to put it all together.
I wouldn't say the word managing, but I communicate with them very well. I did learn that I'm very good at like working with other people. It took me a very long time to get here. Before Zahra, I had another partner which I talked about before. And it took me a long time to even take her in, and I didn't want to at all, not gonna lie. But that's not because like there was anything wrong with her. It was just I did not want anyone working with me.
And now I got her to open up her
And
big
now
heart.
and now I have like 4 or 5 different people working. Actually, it was technically Kim who got me to open up, but
Oh.
now I have like 4 or 5 different people who help us all the time, and we're so grateful for them. But yeah.
I envy your communication skills. Like, this is pure envy right now.
But she says that, but she's also the same girl that managed to get like 100 new people involved with I Can Help. So don't listen to her.
160.
Jeez Louise! Okay, she really just did that. Okay. Okay. See guys, I told you she's trying to be Zahra.
I don't know what you mean by that, but go on.
What boundaries do you need to be better at enforcing moving forward? Zara and I kind of actually talked about this a little bit in the beginning, like self boundaries. Like, I don't need to put my whole self out there on social media or in the world. I can have my own self boundaries about things going on in my life or things I'm doing in life. So,
Plus, in terms of projects and tasks, I've been like taking on everything, and I really need to know how to say no, especially with school right now. Like, I forgot how draining school is. Who know, like, taking over 8 hours of your day would be like this draining. It's really tiring, and I forgot how much anxiety school brought to me and how that's affecting my day-to-day life outside of school. Like, even on the weekends, I'm just using it to sleep when I solely dedicated them for doing step up and I Can Help work. I don't see myself doing that because of how exhausted I am. mentally and physically. So yeah, really learning how to say no to extra stuff or stuff that isn't required. And it's so difficult for someone like me to do that, or someone like Gwen, because we like to put 120% of ourselves into every single thing that we do.
Going off of what she said too, like I really need to learn when to say no, because with the help of others, I run Step Up for a Change. I plan the podcast. Like, yes, I get help from Zahra, and then I'm also a specialist for I Can Help. And even just like this last month, I started to get a little busy, and I fell completely behind, and I felt so bad, and I had to go and be like, hey, like I really want to pick up this black this month, because I just don't know when to say no, and I literally just do everything I possibly can ever. So yeah, that's definitely another boundary.
Yeah, and then when we say yes to all of these things and then we don't end up fulfilling these tasks and we don't reach Fuchin, then we feel like we're a disappointment. Like it,
Uh-huh.
it's a really depressing feeling, and we feel like it's the end of the world. So yeah, you could catch me off the grid when I'm feeling that way. It really affects our mental health whether we, you know, don't put our all into it. It's a hit or miss thing, but we're gonna get severely hurt either way. So finding a balance in between, where my Libra's at, finding a balance in between would really help both of us.
I have to agree, and definitely tell us if that's you too, because we need fellow friends like that. Another question: what made you proud of yourself in the last couple months?
Something that really made me proud is, again, not needing other people. Because for a while now, I believe ever since like preschool, I had to depend on other people for social reasons. Oh, I need to be with this group of people to be cool. I need to worry about them letting me sit at their lunch table. I need to make sure that I make myself this prominent person in this person's life so that way they can't get rid of me. I need to make sure that I'm likable. I need to make sure that I'm charismatic and funny and, I could act really stupid, but I'm also really, really smart and I could give amazing advice. Creating this persona, it was really difficult of letting that go. And at least in real life terms. But one thing that I'm most proud of is slowly learning not to care about what other people think of me or how they perceive me, rather than how I perceive myself and how I'm actually like. So that way it isn't this false narrative, this depiction of me.
For me, I'd probably be like how much I've gotten forward with Step Up. It feels like we've really gone very much forward in these last few months. I have been like looking back on where Step Up was for a while, and now I'm looking at where it is, and I'm like, whoa, we did that. What is something or someone you took for granted before COVID-19 that you hope you never take for granted again? For granted again. I can't speak English today, guys. Sorry, do you want to go first or me?
I could answer it. So honestly, it's locations, because locations hold so much, not just like material or aesthetic value, but also so much nostalgia, right? Like, we have so many memories in certain locations. Like, for me, it was the movie theater, but another location is the mall. um, oh my god, I sound like a typical teenage girl, but that's what I am, and I have to admit it. Um, yeah, I really like the mall. I'm not necessarily, trust me, if anyone has been to the mall with me, you know for a solid fact that I would just walk around behind you, not even buying anything. But
That is so me. Not even gonna lie. That is so me. I
but I
walk in
really,
there. Oh, I'm gonna buy something. No, no, I'm never gonna buy anything. I promise.
so even though I don't necessarily like shopping or trying on clothes, I do like I do like the environment there because one thing that fascinates me is community. For as long as I could remember, I love how communities work, how we function, and overall community well-being. So yeah, by being there, it's a great way. I'm not saying that I like to study everyone or how the mall works. However, I do like being with my friends there and seeing their reactions, or inviting new people to go with me to the mall and seeing what they like to do there. You could really learn a lot from someone, whether they like to go on a shopping spree, whether they like going to makeup stores, or if they just like to try every item in the food court. It's so amazing. And, I miss that feeling because whenever I'm hanging out with my friends, as draining as it could be, when I'm hanging out, really spending the time with someone new, someone that I don't know, it's almost this euphoric feeling. So yeah, um,
Yeah.
really miss that.
I definitely have to agree with you. Someone, for me is I had this really close group of friends, and they they were my swim team. Well, some of them, and I kept trying to and I really loved them and all, and I love them still, obviously, but I kept trying to be oh, I need to go and hang out with these kind of people, like Zara's kind of mentioned, and I'm never ever gonna do that again because those are my real friends, and I definitely have been taking that for granted. I guess that'd be less COVID-19, but now as I'm looking, they're the only people that ever talked with me all the time, that kind of stuff. So it does really tie in with COVID-19. And then definitely with, like Zara said, locations that we took for advantage. A school, growing up, school was my sanctuary, my safe place.
Can't relate. I'm sorry.
I loved being at school even with the bullying. I was one of those kids. And I took that for granted. And as I got older, I started hating it. And now I miss it, actually. And yeah. And obviously, I miss the movie theater and going different places like that.
So during quarantine, what did you find yourself doing the most to pass the time? So I'm assuming this isn't counting I can help stuff or step up stuff.
Okay, I see you,
We're fun people, right, Gwen?
Yeah. Yeah, you want to hear my fun thing? I read an entire book series.
Which series? That's the real question.
I read the After series. I started reading them before quarantine. I remember my language arts teacher making fun of me. And then I ratted my brother out and told him, because it's his football coach, and I was like, well, guess what? He's reading them too. Oh, yeah, I felt bad, but then I didn't. But so I was reading the first book before school ended. I think I was just started the second one, and then quarantine happened. And so I read through all of them, the first month or so, and they're thick books. And then I also did a lot of self-care stuff. Still kind of do. And I adopted, that's totally the wrong word, my Netflix addiction. Yeah, totally. Don't miss that. Yeah, my brother tried to get me off my Netflix addiction, and then he just joined me instead. When I get on Netflix, I have to stop myself for months. I won't watch any TV for months because of it. And then when I start, I don't end it. I can't.
You have so much potential to be a weeb. Oh my god, just get into anime. It'll help
I'm
so
not
much.
watching anime. Right now I'm watching Grey's Anatomy and Private Practice. I stopped watching Grey. I'm on season 11 of Grey's. I'm about to finish season 11. Don't spoil. I already know what's gonna happen. Just shush. Anybody who's listening. Um,
Because you
But
know for a fact that you won't catch me like watching Grays.
yeah, she won't. But then I started watching Private Practice because anyone who is watching Grey's knows who Amelia is, and Amelia, you need to watch Private Practice in order to know who understand her better and a whole bunch of stuff. And I just really didn't want to deal with the ending of season 11, so we took a break. But I started watching a bunch of like random movies before that and all that, and my Netflix addiction went strong. Oh, and ice cream. My family likes to go at least once a week to our favorite ice cream place. We do that a lot.
That sounds great. Something. Okay, so I've been playing a lot of Pokemon. I finished. Okay, so I downloaded for all my Pokemon fans out there, I downloaded the DLC and I got really sad because for the first week that it was released, something was wrong with my Nintendo account and I couldn't download it and I was heartbroken. Um, and then it downloaded and then I got so ecstatic and then I finished it in like an hour. Um, and then I decided to, that was on Pokemon Sword and then I finished Pokemon Shield, and then I went back and finished Pokemon Sword again and completed the Pokedex. Um, so yeah, just really making sure that I have all that fulfilled, and then I also watched, I don't know, like 28 new anime. It was fun. I watched a lot of longer season ones, not One Piece, but um, yeah, I actually caught up on a few episodes before recording of Black Clover and Fire Force, which are amazing, but you know have like over 100 episodes, so yeah,
Oh
um,
goodness.
really amazing. But I love anime.
She really
um,
does. She's been trying forever to get me into it.
yeah, it.
Also, to add on to this question, I feel like I totally just interrupted her, but I just realized how lazy my response made me sound. I do work out, guys. I work out a lot. I promise. I promise. I
Yeah.
I use like I got a fit board like a couple months ago, so that was cool. And my brother has a lot of like weight stuff, like actual weights and like weight pallet. Oh my god, weight plates, and like he has a bench press. He has a bench, so I can like bench press and stuff like that. And then the other brother also has like ankle weights and like chest weights and stuff. So I promise I do work out because our weight training got canceled halfway through. Actually, no, we made it pretty far into it, but we had to cancel. Okay, so we've kind of did our Q&A portion. We have a few things that we'll talk about, like traditions and daily tasks slash routines. So these ones, like I said, the Q&A is kind of over for us, but there was like a few little subtopics we kind of wanted to talk about, especially because these key things can affect your mental health, because mental health is definitely a big part of everything that happened, and most people's mental health definitely took a turn during quarantine. Zahra and I kind of wanted to talk about traditions that kind of been put on hold or unable to happen because of everything that's happening in the world, because for a lot of people that's a big thing going on. Like for me, it's not. For me, I don't have huge traditions that I'm missing out on, whereas other people have these big traditions that they have to miss out on. I have a few little things that like I have traditions with friends or family, but not like traditions.
Yeah, I had like traditions. Like, let's start off with the religious ones. So, for those of you who don't know, I am Muslim, and we have two Eids. So Eid is basically like a Christmas, Thanksgiving, most of the Western holidays combined into one. Um, but you know that's the way we celebrate. So, okay, both of them were, you know, I wouldn't say postponed because you can't postpone a holiday, but it was very different. Like usually after Ramadan, we gather together, you know, and even during Ramadan, it's great to have like a community with you. And there's definitely a lack of that. So we had to suffice through, eat Zoom calls or, um, listening to prayers like on YouTube rather in person. So it's very different. And yeah, in a way, I got mad. I'm not gonna lie. I was angry that this was happening because I think I even jinxed it. Um, Back in like early April, I literally said, "Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure by Eid it won't like happen." And I was so excited for this year too. I was gonna have like all these decorations and all of that. It was pretty sad. Other than a religious perspective, like team, our swim team, like whole entire swim season got canceled. Not the whole entire. We had like two meets and that's it. And they were non-official too. So yeah,
Oh,
that sucked. And I was just, getting a part of in this high school swim community. There was gonna be like what is it? A crab feed totally canceled. It was gonna be amazing and fun and yeah, it's like traditions are something that we need to definitely, I don't know, improvise on because you don't know what will happen. Like, will we have everything in a Zoom lobby at this point? And it's scary to think about that, just FaceTiming someone instead of seeing their whole entire body. Um, but the pro
totally
is,
not us right now.
but the pro is that you don't have to get ready. Big pro right there. Huge pro. You could just still be in your pajamas.
Yes, sir. Oh, I stole the catchphrase.
You stole the catchphrase.
My bad. But that's just like my favorite thing ever to do is be in PJs. Um, but definitely with the traditions, it's very hard for a lot of people with everything this year, and adding the traditions onto it really does not help.
Other than the traditions that, we talked about, there are also some like routines, like daily things or even simple habits that have changed because of COVID-19. Um, Wearing a mask is one of them. Getting out of bed, usually like normally during this time, I get out of bed like at 6 a.m. Now
I
I'm
wish
getting
I got that late.
Now I'm getting out of bed like at, I don't know, 7:30, 8:30 because classes start at 9:15. So, yeah, it's like little things like that. Um, I would also say that I've gotten pretty lazy. Like really lazy here. Um, More lazier than usual, and that's saying a lot. um, because I could just be in bed and do all my homework and literally finish everything in one sitting. Like it's getting too easy, um, which isn't so great for my mental health because I'm not experiencing any challenges other than poor Wi-Fi and other things going on. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. For me, literally, I got up at 5 a.m. every morning, and then suddenly that just like changed. And now my parents actually don't let me sleep in that late. But now I have to get up by 10:30, which sounds late, but I promise, with your messed up sleep schedule like mine, it's not late. Um, but yeah, just all these different daily. I spent. I'm so gonna throw myself under the bus here. I will spend days in my PJs. It's from one PJ set to another PJ set. And that just my daily routines and my daily tasks have all changed because of it. And it it affects me because, yeah, like Zara was talking about, I've become really lazy and I have a lot of time on my hands. And this usually only happens during the summer, but so I have like really bad anxiety. Um, and but so then when I get really, really busy, I get really bad anxiety and I start having panic, like anxiety attacks and stuff. And then when I'm not doing anything at all, then I get anxiety induced or stress induced insomnia from not doing anything. And so it started early this year because of everything going on. And yeah, our daily lives have changed and probably aren't going to be going back to normal anytime soon.
It's hard to transition from like the bad habits back to good. Like it's a on and off switch, right? It's easier to turn off the bad ones. And then when you try to lift that switch back up to on, it's like a million pounds and you can't do it. So yeah, it's extremely difficult to try to reverse that cycle if we do go back. I'm pretty scared for transitioning. But before we close up this episode, Gwen, what is one thing that you would tell your past self when shelter in place first initiated?
Give up your fight for not watching Netflix earlier. Probably also like I need to buy some more books, honestly. I'm out of books completely. So it's been a lot of Netflix. And maybe also see, I have like 50 million things. Also like do more work because the beginning of all this I didn't do any work and then I started doing a lot of work and then now like I'm running out of time to do a lot of work. So I went from doing a whole bunch of stuff to doing like nothing again. And so what about you?
Definitely can relate to that. Not to overreact and not to underestimate everything that's going on, to, enjoy each day, but make sure to plan ahead of time too. And to be more careful. Like, it's very difficult. Again, I talked about this earlier, to pick and choose my battles, I guess. Um, so yeah, just gonna say that and make sure that you get back to people on time.
Yeah. And also make sure you're taking care of yourself too.
Yeah,
A lot
definitely.
of self-care.
Now, what is something that you would like to say to your future self or ask your future self?
When is this all over? Um, no, it would be like I don't know if it'd be less like asking my future self, more as seeing the future, like where I'm at in my life. What am I doing with my life? Did I achieve the goals I wanted to? Are we, like I said, out of this? Like, what? Because I can already tell you now, because of all this, I have changed. That sounds so cliche. I've said that word a lot, but I feel like I really have changed. And I really feel like it's like life's gonna be different for me after this, and I want to know if I kept going with that.
Yeah, it's like, I wonder how different I'll be. Will I be as stupid as I was in middle school, or will I be more mature and thoughtful with my actions? Will I Naruto run everywhere I go, or will I walk like a normal person? Will I have better You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. Um,
It really is.
and if my GPA is higher.
You try to outdo my GPA.
No. Maybe.
You could. You did. You could.
If I put in more effort.
That's all I have to do. I'm actually not smart, guys. Just thought I'd throw that out there. I'm really not smart. I just work really hard.
You're pretty smart. Don't
I'm actually
yourself.
not though, but okay.
I feel like I have the mind in order to do it, but but I'm lazy overall and procrastinate a lot.
Zahra procrastinating?
We have a little hint for you guys for our next episode. Let's see if you catch it. Now, we mentioned it here a lot. It has something to do with, I don't know, our current experience. What's going on? I don't know. What's the thing that's connecting Frankie Stein and Troy Bolton?
What? I love that. I love that. Okay.
And I don't know if you guys could tell, but Gwen doesn't know the hints that I give every episode.
Oh, she never tells me ahead of time what her hints are gonna be, so I think she's gonna say like one type of hint and then goes completely different route.
What's your hint? Here's a bonus Gwen hint.
My hint? Ooh, good question. Kind of like Zara said, just life right now. Life right now. We've already kind of talked about quarantine, so think about another thing.
Okay. Oh my god.
Or here's a better hint. Something we're all getting back into.
Yeah, get into it.
Before I know we already said this, but before we close out, we gotta put in our very awesome part about how we are only teenagers.
Yes, we are only teenagers. And most of the time, we don't know what we're doing. We're unsure about a lot
We
of
don't
things.
know what we're talking about.
So please take everything that we say with a grain of salt. This is something that you should be able to relate to, something that you could connect with.
Not get personal advice from.
You stole the words right out of my mouth. It's a lot. So if you actually need help, reach out to the crisis text line or the suicide prevention line, or a trusted adult like a teacher or a family member.
If you don't know how to get those resources, besides trusted adult, you can reach out to us for like the numbers and stuff like that. We do definitely have the numbers and all the resources for you.
Mm-hmm. And never be afraid to ask for help, or Gwen for tutoring, if she's up for it.
I'm always up for it. I don't start school for another month, guys.
Once again, your fan club's here for you.
Your fan club loves you.
And have an amazing rest of your night.
Or day.